Okay, what's up guys? And today I'm gonna be doing a what if on what if Deku was the puppeteer. So let's get this started. Oh, this is starting when Deku was born. Deku is hold up. So Deku is basic. Deku is basically he's Deku is basically uh hold up. So this starts off with Deku being born. Deku was being born, and then time skip to hold up. Okay, so Deku was being born, and time skip to like years. Deku was 4 years old, and hold on. So Deku is 4 years old now, and this is when the doctor of the correct doctor says Deku has no quirk. Deku gets shocked by this and he's sad. So 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 Deku is surprised that he doesn't have a quirk, and because he doesn't have a quirk, Deku is mad that he does have a quirk, but not all that mad. So this is when Bakugo starts bullying him. Time skip to when Deku is like 15. Bakugo is still bullying him. This is when Deku. This is when Deku hates Bakugo, and he just feels like the whole world is against him other than his mom, because his mom is the only one that basically still loves him. Yeah, still loves him. So this is when Bakugo tells Deku to jump off a roof or something. Maybe you might have a quirk in your next life. And Deku takes his words seriously. So Deku ends up jumping off the building, and as um as he does this, Deku dies, kind of. Deku, like, someone notices this, calls, and they call the hospital. Mm. Yeah, they call the hospital to get Deku, because he's hurt. He just tried to commit suicide. And this is when, basically this is when Deku's mom hears about this, and she's just sad. So, um, yeah, this is when like the doctors noticed that Deku's heart stopped beating. They were going to call um Inko, Inku, Frick, I don't know her name, Deku's mom. So they call her, and they were about to tell her that Deku was dead until he got up and his heart started beating again. This is this is when the doctors noticed that Deku is pale, all pale. That's it. Deku is pale, and that's it. My life is terrible. Just kidding. So Deku is pale. Hold up. So Deku has pale skin, and because of this, he the and this is when they tell the Inku, like, this is when the doctor notices that his heart started beating again and he woke up. So um this is when the doctor tells Inku that your son is perfectly fine and healthy, but he may have a few injuries. So yeah, that's what they tell Inku. And because of this, In- because of this, Deku because of this, Inku is happy, and she's crying while she's being happy. So, yes. And as this goes on, the doctor hangs up on the phone, and Inku quickly rushes to the hospital to see Deku. So, so this is when, this is when Deku tells his mom that he wants to be taken out of the hospital, and because, and you basically, and if you're wondering how the puppeteer became a puppeteer, this is basically how I'm telling you how, kind of just with Deku in it. Oh, and also you may notice in my videos, I might make Deku more of a villain more than a hero, mostly. So yeah. Hold on. So Inku gets Deku. Deku and Inku go home, and as they go home, Deku puts on his normal everyday clothes, and I'm gonna say when Deku woke up, it was the afternoon. So, yeah. Also, as, like, Deku, Deku doesn't care about anything. He's just emotionless right now. Oh yeah, and emotionless means that you have no emotions for anything. You don't care about anything. So this is when, like, Deku notices that he feels a little bit weird lately. But before that, that was like the next day when Deku starts feeling weird. But I'm gonna say continue on to the part that we're in, like in the evening. So, Deku's mom asks Deku, "Why did you try to commit suicide?" He said, "Because his life sucks and my life is boring. No, and everyone hates me other than you." Inku has no words to say, so she just stays quiet, and Deku just goes get dressed because he has school, basically, kind of. Yeah, and this is when I'm gonna say before Deku jumped, he Deku told his teacher to unsign him from UA, so now it's just Bakugo going to UA. So yeah. Hold up. And and uh, and next day, Deku starts feeling weird. This is when he notices that his eyes are glowing. Then he blinks, his eyes start glowing. Then he blinks again, his eyes aren't glowing anymore. And Deku just thought he was hallucinating. So yeah. Hold on. So Deku starts hallucinating because that's what he thinks he's doing, hallucinating, but he's actually not. Now I'm gonna say, I'm gonna give the puppeteer the power and make it Deku's power, but it's not gonna really be the quirk, it's just gonna be a power, like a ability or something. So Deku, so this is the only ability that I'm gonna tell you of the puppeteer. He has the ability to, like, possess people, basically. Not really. That's what the puppet does. The real puppeteer can't do that. can only control people. That's the only thing he can do. So so as this goes on, um, so this is when Deku sees he. This is when, like, as Deku is crossing the as Deku is walking down the street in a hoodie, like he's wearing his hoodie outside. He's crossing the street. This is when he sees two people going down an alleyway. I'm gonna say it's Dobby and Toga. This is when Deku was like, those two are a little bit suspicious, so I'm going to follow them. Deku follows them, and this is when he follows them into a bar. Deku notices that Toga is wearing a school uniform, and he's wondering, why is she going into a bar if she's so young? So he just follows them into the bar. And this is when, like, Deku is basically hiding behind a door. And this is when, like, Kurogiri and, hold up. So this is when, like, they meet Shigaraki, Toga, and Dabi. And Kurogiri been knew Shigaraki, and yeah, he been knew Shigaraki. And Shigaraki says, I'm the leader of, I'm basically the leader of the League of Villains. And sends Deku and says, and Deku hears this, and in his mind he says, I have to tell the heroes where this about this. And then Deku thinks about this. What if I don't tell the heroes? So this is when Deku pops up out of nowhere, and like Kurogiri asks, who's this guy? And this is when Dabi and Toga and hold up. Then this is when they meet. Then this is when they meet Shigaraki, and he says, who are you? He says, my name is Azuko Midoriya, and I would like to join the League of Villains. And this is when, like, Dabi and Toga say the same thing. So this is when they're fine with this, and they have 3 new members. And then this is when Deku says, I'm not like the rest of you because I'm quirkless. And he says, that's alright. And everyone else just says that's okay. Just as long as you're with us, you're okay. Basically. So this is when, like, Kurogiri notices something in Deku. This is when Deku blinks. He doesn't notice this because he's not in the mirror. So Deku blinks, and there's like energy, and his eyes turn into like what you basically see now, orange behind them, and a very lightish yellow on his pupils. So this is when Kurogiri notices this, and he says, are you sure you don't have a quirk? And he says, yes. And he says, yes. I went to the quirk doctor when I was 4, and they said I didn't have a quirk. And Kurogiri says Kurogiri just says Kurogiri like calls a person that he has that like Kurogiri knows a few people. Like I'll say he knows a few people. And some people and he calls two people over. A guy and a woman. This guy has a quirk to bring out the true potential of like someone else's quirk or like power. So, and this is when like there's a girl and she's also like this guy and the girl are both villains, and because they're both villains, whatever, but because they're both villains, whatever, they were with Kurogiri and all that. So as so as Deku, so Kurogiri tells him to touch the boy and unlock his true power. He touches him and like yellow starts to, and yellow thing and his eyes turn like yellow, a bright yellow, and the white stuff that's like basically a part of his eye turns orange basically, and like a kind of a lightest orange, not like that orange but a lightest orange. So as Deku notices this, so as everyone else notices this, they say, well, you have a quirk now. Deku is surprised by this, so they make Deku look at himself in the mirror, and he says he does have a quirk. Like, this is what Deku says: I have a quirk now, but how? He said, I didn't have a quirk before, so how do I have a quirk now? They say, we don't know, but you have a quirk now, and whatever this quirk is, it might be pretty useful. So this girl, she can train, like her quirk is basic, like her quirk, like she has two quirks from her mom and her dad. Like one of her quirk is basically a like a beast quirk, like basically, and her other quirk is like training. She can train anybody and also herself for like anything. So this is when she trains Deku to like kind of uses his quirk. They know, and Kurogiri does the same thing. She like they teach him martial arts and like normal fighting and all those other things. So like they teach Deku hand-to-hand combat and also many other things. And Deku's mom has been wondering where has Deku been because he's always going out lately, and he just tells his mom that he's been hanging around with friends. That's all. It's basically like a villain Deku, but I'm not gonna say that his mom died like the others. So this is when Kurogiri tells Deku that he's going to have to live here now if he's like going to be part of the League of Villains. And Deku asks why. Deku says why, and he just like, and he says, well, because if the heroes found out that you have a relationship with your mother, which is like a mom-son relationship, not like that type of relationship. So with your mom, they're going to know. They're going to like they're going to get you. They're going to end up getting you. They're going to end up getting you and questioning your mom. Like they're basically going to take you to jail. And that's it. So Deku was like, okay, what about my mom? They say that she'll be fine. This as long as the heroes don't find out our location. So so this is when Deku starts basically like he goes home for like this last time. Like Deku goes home for this one last time before he leaves his mom forever. So so yeah. So like he tells his mom of a couple of stuff before he does leave to become a villain. And and basically so Deku leaves at night, like in the middle of the night. It's 3 a.m. in the morning. And Deku he leaves. Deku just leaves in 3 a.m. in the morning. Oh, and also Deku let his hair grow. Like he basically he let his hair grow, so he basically kinda looks like a girl now, but everyone in like half of everyone in the League of Villains know that Deku was actually a guy. So like oh yeah, and also Deku has been as he's been training, he also has been killing other people so he can get his kill count up. He the way he kills them, he just tortures them for a little bit, for 10 minutes, and then making them go crazy basically, because that's one of like the puppeteer's powers. He makes the puppeteer can make someone feel creeped out, and every time he talks, it's just it's static every time this dude talks. So yeah, that's every time. That's what happens every time the puppeteer talks. So he just makes them go crazy. He would appear and then disappear. Like, if you've seen Danny Phantom, basically like that. He would appear, then disappear, then appear again. Basically making his target or victim feel like they're going crazy. And then that's when he would just appear in front of them and completely kill them. So yeah. And I'm not gonna say, oh, one for all. All for one decided that he should make Toga and Deku go to UA. No, they're going to obviously betray them in the end. So why would they do that? So this is when I'll say this is when Deku has grown a little bit taller. He grown a little bit taller. He's kind of the same height as Bakugo. He's kind of the same height as Bakugo, but a little bit taller than him. So yeah. And hold up. And Deku is Deku. And this is when I'll be right back. This is when Shigaraki makes the plan of attacking UA. Toga and Dabi kind of get excited by this because this is gonna be their first ever mission kind of. And Deku he doesn't really care, but he gets a little excited. And oh yeah, and Deku lives in the bar because he has nowhere else to go. So yes. Oh my gosh. So this is when this is when they so alright, so this is meanwhile that's what Deku was doing. Now we're going to go to what Bakugo was doing. So Bakugo thinks that Deku is dead because because that's what he thinks. He thinks that Deku is dead, and because of this, he kind of feels guilty. Like he's like he was mean to everyone, like more mean to everyone at first. Like he just wanted to push everyone away, but ever since like everyone knew what he did, and like they started feeling a little bit guilty for Bakugo. So yeah, they're kind of all friends with Bakugo a little bit. With Bakugo, so Bakugo is like a little bit nicer now. So so this is when this is when like Bakugo can't get the thought of that he killed someone basically. Like he thinks he killed someone, but it's actually Deku tried to kill himself. Like Deku basically tried to kill himself basically, but not really. And no one really cares. No one really cares that Deku tried to kill himself because everyone still thinks Deku is like the quirkless, loseless, the quirkless loser, and he's like useless. He doesn't need to be in this world, basically. Like that's what everyone basically thought of Deku, even still, because he's dead. Like that's like they think he's dead, but he's not dead. He just didn't go to school, so I think he's dead, but he's not dead. So, so so this is when Kurogiri finds out that Deku had a book, and it was a book full of heroes and their weakness. And this is when he tells, this is when, and then this is when like he tells Shigaraki, and then Shigaraki tells All for One, and then All for One like says, tell this boy that I would like to meet him and and tell him that I would like to meet him, and once and you will come with him. And Shigaraki tells him this, like Shigaraki basically tells him this. Shigaraki doesn't Shigaraki says the master would like to meet you because like it's basically like master and basically successor kind of, but like All for One hasn't like picked a successor yet. So yes. So yeah. Okay. So since Deku doing is doing this, it gets so Deku meets All for One, and Shigaraki is there, and he tells him that he would like you to pick up more info on the heroes. Kurogiri found this book and showed Shigaraki, and Shigaraki showed me, and and he says, "Thank you. I'm glad that you're impressed. That you're impressed by my work, master." That's what Deku says, and like, uh, this is this is when this is when Shigaraki Shigaraki says, "Is there anything that you would like for me to do?" And he says, "Yes." Like one fellow says yes, I mean, All for One says, yes, there is something I would like you to do. When you attack UA, like, make sure you bring this Namu with you. Like, that's what he tells, that's what he tells, um, that's what he tells him. And, like, one for all, All for One tells Deku that he wants him to pick up more info on the heroes. And he says, okay. And, like, Deku, like, basically makes a new book about all the heroes. Like, because I'll say that Deku has a good memory of remembering things. And he remembers all the heroes that he's ever, like, practiced on. So he knows their every weakness. So he, like, knows their weakness, and he knows, like, Deku knows what hurt the heroes the most, basically, and what's their quirk, and what they can do, and what they can't do. Like, that's basically it. So I'll say that uh yeah. So this is when, this is when they were going to, like, this is when they, like, the guy, so this is when they go attack UA. They attack UA. Bakugo finds out that Deku is still alive. Deku's, like, surprised and also mad at this because he didn't know that Deku was still alive. But he just, like straight up rushes to Deku. The others tell Bakugo to wait, but he's just not listening to anyone right now. So, like, this is when Bakugo yells out, Deku, why didn't you tell me you were still alive? He says, well, I didn't want you to know. And he says, still alive? I've been alive. Like that's basically what Deku says. And he wondering, and he's, like, wondering, why would Bakugo ask me why I'm still alive? Like, why is he asking me why didn't I tell him I was still alive? Like, what, he actually felt guilty for telling me, for me committing suicide? And Deku just thinks, yeah, right, he wasn't. He doesn't feel guilty for me committing suicide. So I'll say, as this is happening, so I'll say, since Deku is, like, a villain, and, like, this is when Bakugo starts fighting Deku, and Bakugo asks Deku, why did you become a villain? And he says, well, what else can I be other than a hero? You said, everyone said that I can't be a hero, a police officer, a firefighter, or detective, or anything. I can't be anything without a quirk. So why not just be a villain? And he said, and Bakugo just says, and how is that supposed to give you a quirk by becoming a villain? And he says, well, I know a few people that you don't know that can give quirks. And I got this quirk from someone. But it's none of your business. Like, all for one didn't really give Deku the quirk that he has now. He just, like, kind of, like, he just got it from hate. Like, Deku's basically a spirit, kind of, just wandering the world forever, kind of, but not really. Like, he can die like a normal person could, but he just like chooses not to, because he doesn't want to die yet. And this is where I'm going to end the video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more. Goodbye.